Good morning, students. Let continuation for the last class. Message authentication functions. Message authentication functions. In the last class, what we discussed, message authentication requirements and message authentication function in that encryption. Encryption. See the consolidated methods in the encryption. Conventional encryption. In the previous diagram, it is a continuation for this. This is a symmetric key encryption, and we discussed in the last class. There is a public key encryption, and some more diagrams. This is a conventional method, simple, achieve the confidentiality and authentication, encrypting using the symmetric key, or it is also called secret key, shared between the two persons, two bits. Is a public key encryption only confidentiality. Let remember that there is a difference between the confidentiality and authentication. Suppose if you use the only confidentiality in the public key encryption, sender must use the public key of receiver to encrypt the plain text, to encrypting the message. Whereas in the authentication, whereas in the authentication, sender must use the private key of user A. See the difference here, public key of user B. Okay, here private key of user A. Both use the similar kind of encryption only, but here achieve the confidentiality, but here achieve the authentication. What is the difference here? Sender just use the in the normal confidentiality. You want to achieve the confidentiality of the message because of to avoid the traffic flow and traffic analysis. Okay, release of message content to passive attacks. To counter for this, we go for confidentiality. Here, sender use the public key. KU means public key of user B. User B means this side. Okay, they send encrypted data sent to the destination. Receiver automatically has his own key. He or she own key like private key. Private key is a secret and confidential, kept at the user only. So it is not publicized. But public key known to everyone. Is it? But this is whereas in the authentication, suppose the message authentication using encryption, in that there is a third model, private key of user A used to encrypting the message. There is a message encrypted by the private key of user A. A means this side, and receiver side. You know that is public key is available. Here the sender, whatever the private key used to encrypt, is going to send the public key of the user A. Suppose that receiver, uh, the receiver doesn't have public key of user A, then sender will sending the public key of user A. Otherwise, if the receiver has the public key ring of all the users, no problem, right? So this is about, so means in the confidentiality, receiver side credential can use, and in the authentication, sender side credential only used in the encryption. That confidential and authentication combination. Combination means two encryptions are there and two decryptions are there. Okay, to achieve the first, but because this is related to authentication, so that first encrypting using the private key of user A, then public key of user B. Reverse, public key of user B, then public key of user A will be used in the decryption. This is about the uh, message authentication using confidentiality. There is a message authentication using the MAC. Let me see, discuss the fundamentals. MAC means it is a message authentication code. Message authentication code. It is a kind of algorithm it is going to apply on the given text, given message. Okay, MAC algorithm. It is going to generate the MAC code, fixed size, similarly hash, similarly like hash. Now see that the MAC code generated by an algorithm that create a small fixed size block. Okay, because generally input is maybe arbitrary length that generate a small fixed size block, but output is always fixed. That is called MAC code. The MAC code is depending on the both message and secret key. Okay, we here input some secret key will be used, and like encryption through need not be reversible. In the encryption we can do the reverse like a decryption, but here in the MAC code computation, once you compute the MAC code, it is not going to reverse and appended to a message as a signature. This MAC code will be appended appended to the plain text as a signature, that appending at the end of the text and sent to the destination. Receiver perform the same computation on message and checks its matches the MAC. Receiver, what is the job of the receiver? Receiving the message plus signature, and he also do the MAC algorithm on the received plain text and compare to the new MAC and already received MAC. Both you can compare. If it is okay, authentication is success. If it is there is a difference, there is a problem in the message. Something is happened. There is a, next, provide the assurance that the message is unaltered and comes from the sender. So always make sure that messages come from the allied parties and there is without alteration. Without alteration means if it is MAC code is successfully equal, then definitely you can assure that the message is correct one. In the MAC uses this some shared secret key to generate a fixed size block of data. Okay, this is the equation. There is a message, and this is called MAC algorithm. C is the MAC algorithm, K is the secret key, and MAC is the code. Some like checksum. It is also called cryptographic checksum or a media message authentication code, MAC code. Is it? What are the assurances in this one? Make sure that message has not been altered. Okay, that definitely once we use this one, we can assure that one. Messages come from allied sender. Definitely. From the sender only. Allied sender means what you expected. In this one, so message come from A or B something. Message sequence is unaltered. There is no method of changing the order. So definitely achieve the message sequence. If there is no sequence means we can assure even though message sent in some maybe unordered, but receiver you can understand that the message has some change. A message has altered. Message have been changed in the sequence. Okay, so that is a problem. And now see the example of these how to compute in the Mac. Let's look into the figure. What is going to this use? Just there is a message. There is a message and there is a key. Okay, Mac. Here the Mac will be generated. Mac is equal to C, a combination of K and M. This is secret key. Secret key C is the Mac algorithm. C is the Mac algorithm or Mac computation. The C is a MAC algorithm performed on the plain text M using the secret key K. Just like it is just like a symmetric key algorithm. But what is the difference between symmetric key and MAC algorithm? Symmetric key algorithm means it is a encryption. It is a reversible, but it is not reversible here. That is the difference. So after this MAC code appended to the plain text and sent to the destination, destination receive the plain text along with the MAC code. What is the job of the destination now? He can compute the he can compute the MAC code from the received message. He also receive the message and apply the same MAC algorithm using the secret key. Okay, then compute the new MAC code at the destination. The new MAC code and already received MAC code. This is what received from the source. So this is a received MAC code. Received MAC code and new MAC code both are same. Compare. If it is same, authentication is success. Otherwise, there is a problem. There is a problem. Something is happened. Some changes are there for text. So this means it is simply generated from the message plus secret key. MAC is a simple, a fixed size block of data. It is a code or a block of data generated from message plus secret key. K is the secret key, M is the message, C is the MAC algorithm. MAC is the code. After that, what will get MAC code will be get. The MAC code will be appended to a message when sent. See that this is called a concatenation symbol. Concatenation symbol. After applying the MAC code, you will get the after applying a MAC algorithm using a secret key, you will get the MAC code. This MAC code will be appended to the plain text. Okay, concatenation of both, concatenation of plain text and MAC code sent to the destination and do the job. But it is the not reversible. Okay, uh, from the MAC code you will not get any plain text. Is it clear? So it is not a reversible. So this is a simple MAC function working strategy. Let's see the related to some fundamentals about the MAC and some others diagrams also look into that one. Now this is a simple first a simple authentication. Similar same diagram. This is authentication. Now we go for the confidentiality authentication tied to the plain text. Both you can authentication and confidentiality. Here K1 and K2, two keys are used here. K1 and K2. Okay, what is the means? First, there is a message. Just please, all of you, look into the figures. Just take 5 minutes time. Look into the figures, and then I will explain. Okay, first K1 secret key applied on the message. Similarly, like first one, but second encryption is there. Actually, this is called a MAC computation. This is called simply encryption. Okay, to achieve the confidentiality using secret key K2. After concatenation of message plus MAC code, then go for encryption using the secret key. Receiver side first to perform the decryption, then go for as to previous first case. Then again compute the MAC code, then compare. Is it? Now, there is a third case. There is a some little bit different on the ciphertext. Okay, this is about tied to the plain text. This is about tied to the ciphertext. There is a message. First, encrypting the. message. First, encrypting the message using K2. Okay. Now, here the MAC code is concatenated with ciphertext. Here, in second case, MAC code is concatenated with the plain text, but here, first you do the encryption using K2. So, encryption after encryption, what is the output? Ciphertext. Here, the ciphertext. On the ciphertext, you can calculate the MAC code. MAC code. Okay. C is the MAC algorithm. K1 is the secret key. So you will get the MAC code. Ciphertext plus MAC code concatenated here. Okay. Ciphertext plus MAC code concatenated. Right. So receiver side, what you will get? Ciphertext. So now here, uh, two jobs you require. First, you can decrypt in the ciphertext using K2. Okay. You will get message. Just keep at aside. Keep aside. Keep the message side. Now, just take the MAC code and take the MAC code, see, and perform the take the ciphertext and apply the MAC code, MAC algorithm. Then you will get the MAC code. Okay, what is the first case in this one? Simply take the ciphertext and decrypt that using K2. You will get the plain text. Just keep it aside. Then take the ciphertext, apply the MAC algorithm. C is the MAC algorithm. You will get the K using this K1. You will get the MAC code here, new MAC code. Already received MAC code is there. The received MAC code and the new MAC code you can compare. Okay. If it is same, then authentication is success. Okay. Otherwise, there is a you also do one thing. If you want to, you can avoid the decryption also. If the both received ciphertext is correct or not, you can check using this MAC computation. Received MAC code and already computation, whatever the computed MAC code at destination or sender side, receiver side, sorry. Receiver side computation MAC code plus received MAC code, you can compare. But if both are same, then ciphertext is correct one. Now go for decryption. Okay, this is a alternative because unnecessarily you cannot do the decryption before going to this compare. Because with authentication success, go for decryption. Otherwise, need not go for decryption. This is about MAC code. Okay, it is similar to like confidentiality, but thing is it is not reversible. Now, just little bit fundamentals. What is the main use of this? MAC provides some authentication. Can also use encryption for secrecy. Generally use separate keys for each one. Authentication use the one kind of key, and encryption purpose is the separate key. Both are secret keys. Can compute MAC either before or after encryption. Previously, you know that tied with plain text, MAC code tied with plain text, and tied with ciphertext, and is generally regarded as a better done before. Just see the generic composition. Just before the actual, okay, perform the first MAC code. What is the use of MAC? Why we use MAC? Because sometimes only authentication is needed, so we go for this MAC code. Authentication is persist longer than encryption sometimes, so that we use the maximum MAC code using the authentication, but not for encryption. We have a number of encryption algorithms there, so better limited limit to this for authentication. And MAC is not a digital signature. Okay, but this does not provide the non-repudiation. See that it is means uh, what is the drawback of the MAC in this one? MAC just either received or not, that will can claim that, but there the messages come from message or a text is come exactly from that. There is no method of replay. There is no concept of checking the replay or user credential verification, timestamp, whether the particular user is user signed or not. He only authorized. Okay, suppose the particular user has authorized person. Okay, this is a problem. So that you go for digital signature. It is provide the non-repudiation. But you can assure that the messages come from exactly some particular party. All the some MAC properties are there. MAC simply a cryptographic checksum condenses variable length message which applied using a secret key and to a fixed size authenticator. It is a many to one function. Potentially many messages have the same MAC. There is a problem also. Sometimes if you get same as MAC, there is a problem of decrypting, like attacks possible. Is it? So make sure that not MACs are equal. So that's why better instead of MAC, people like the hash algorithms. Hash always generate the unique code, but finding these needs to be very difficult. Okay, what are the requirements for MAC? Taking into account of type of attacks, it need to MAC to satisfy. Knowing a message and MAC is infeasible to find other message with the same MAC. Okay, this is a MAC required. Just like a hash function requirements, hash function properties, MAC also some requirements is nothing but it's also called properties really, because once the MAC is completed, suppose you will get the same MAC code. We cannot find that suppose message is same for similar MAC, and MACs generally distributed uniformly, and it's depending on the bits of the message. MAC is actually depending on the bits of the message, and computation is also depending on the bits of the message. Actually, it's also depending on the algorithm also. MAC computation, MAC algorithm is actually easy because simple. There is algorithm we can design for just generating the checksum. It is simply checksum value. Is it checksum means like it is a like a taking the sums of bits of all the bytes or words something. If you take this 30 bit or 64 bit, whatever may be, depending on the algorithm. Let coming to the hash function. Okay, so the drawback of Mac code is problem is non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means there is a problem of denials of service attacks. Means exactly the users claiming that so and so message not sent by me or not received by so and so person. There is a problem. So better we show the proof at what time, at who is the sender, like all things possible in the hash functions. What is a hash function? Hash is already discussed in the last classes little bit. Hash is the mathematical function applied on the given plain text. Then you will get the hash code. It also hash code, also called message digest. Here, M is called a variable length message. It is nothing but a arbitrary length message that you can select the what is the length of message depending on the algorithm hash function you designed. You want to take the 512 bit or you want to take the 256 bit or like example depending RIPE MD take the 160 minimum, SHA-1 160, okay, and then MD5 128 like example. H is a fixed length hash value. Always a hash code or a message digest. It is a fixed length hash value. then h is the hash function. Okay, so what is this meaning? That the hash function h is applied on the message, then you will get the hash code or message digest. This hash value, similarly like previous cases, appended to the source. That means message. Receiver authenticate the message by recomputing the hash value. Recomputing the hash value, because the hash function itself is not considered to be secret. So means it required to protect the hash values also. Okay, this is about a simple hash function. Now see that example. What are the scenarios? How to append like use that? Convert the variable size message m into fixed size hash. Some already I told you previously. Sometimes the hash code called message digest MD. Digest means compressed function, compressed data. Okay, how we use for this encryption for authentication? Just like a encryption of message concatenated with hash code. Then message concatenated with encryption of hash code. Message concatenated with signed hash code. Encryption of message that concatenated with signed hash. Okay, then message concatenated with hash code that computed from the message plus secret key. Here two concatenations are there. These all different variations in the hash function applying. Then there is also a message concatenated with the hash function applying on the message. That message concatenated with the k. Similar, what we can do here first to do this operation. Message concatenated with the secret key k, then apply the hash function. You will get the hash code here. This hash code is concatenated with the message m. Then message plus hash code are encrypted by using encryption. Like this there's all different variations or different methods to take the hash functions. That's some functions, some requirements are there. Also called some like properties. Already we discussed in the last class. H. H means hash function. H can be applied to any size data block. Okay, any size data block message. So we have a message. Message is very bigger. Of course, maybe 1 MB or 2 MB or 3 MB or 5 MB, 1 GB also sometimes. But you can take the what is the size. You want a 256-bit message or 512-bit message or 1 MB message, whatever may be. And at whatever cost, it produces the fixed size output or fixed length output. That is called hash code, small h. Next, h of x is relatively easy to compute for given x. Relatively, hash and means hash function is applied on the given message x. Easy to compute. Assume that. And h is one way, but not reverse. Remember that. Just example, encryption is two way. That means reverse also you can do that. Decryption you will get the plain text. H means just apply one side. The function performed one side only. Okay, this is one side. This is one side. On the message you can apply the hash function. You will get the hash code. This means the given h, small h means hash code. It is computationally infeasible to find any x. Means you will get a hash code from the given message after applying the hash function, but you will not get the plain text x from the hash code. That is a one way hash function. You will not get the plain text from the hash code. What is the difference here? Simple. Hash code will get from the message, but not get the message from hash code. That is called one way function. And there is a weakly collision resistance property. Hash function is a weakly collision resistance. It means that given x is a plain text message, It is computationally infeasible to find y that not equal to x with respect to h of x equal to h of y. What is the meaning of this statement? H of x equal to h of y. It means that there is two data blocks, two messages. On this, apply the hash function. Let's assume that two hash codes are equal. Two hash codes are equal. Though hash codes are equal, but messages are not equal. That is the meaning of this weak collision resistant. Y not equal to x. Y not equal to x. Next, strongly collision resistant. Strongly collision resistant. Previously, hash codes are equal, not feasible to find the message y. Okay, because even though x you know, but y you cannot know that because both hash codes are equal. Strongly collision resistant means it is computationally infeasible to find x and y. Previously, find only y, but x and y with respect to h of x equal to h of y. Both hash codes are equal, but you cannot find the infeasible to find the x and y messages. That is called strongly collision resistance. So these properties are very good properties designed while using of this hash function. So due to these hash function properties, because this is very popular in the authentication. Okay, hash function requirements. Hash function requirements. What is a simple main continuation? One-way property, main important two. Previously, what we discussed, six requirements are there. These three are very one-way property, essential for authentication. Weak collision resistance is necessary to prevent the forgery. Okay, strong collision resistance is important for resistant to birthday attack. Birthday paradox is a big problem in the hash function. So there is a simple guessing. Just among the 23%, there is a possibility of two people having same birthday. That is called birthday paradox. Okay. In this also there is a possible expecting the some message. Okay. Let's take the 23 hash codes if you have. Expect that at least two are equal. That is a, but you can avoid that one. It is not also possible sometimes, but anyway, birthday paradox is implemented. Simple hash function. There is already we are doing like checksum. Okay, simple checksums in this user simple hash function. The hash function in this one exclusive are of the bits. Exclusive are of the bits for every block. Okay, a simple all the exclusive bits of all the blocks you will get one complete block C1. Now see that what is the operation of this simple hash function? Suppose example the input is viewed as a sequence of n bit blocks. You can divide the plain text into all assume that n bit blocks. The input is processed one block at a time in iterative fashion to produce the n bit hash functions. How it is like example first to block one, take the block one, take the block two. You can do the exclusive OR. Then from this you'll get again take the block three, do the exclusive OR. Or you can take the all the blocks also. You can do the but you can design the algorithm for that. Okay, this is a simple hash function. Nothing is there, just taking the exclusive bits of exclusive bits of particular bits from the all the blocks. Okay, like I1, I2 means ith row or something. Block I1 means block one. Ith row in the block one. ith bit in the block 1, ith bit in the block 2, okay, swan. Ith bit in the jth block. This 1 2 means j value up to some n. M is the number of n bit blocks. Of course, this may create some problems because some bits, 1 or 2 bits, you can change, and you can get the similar hash code. Okay, it is not a good algorithm, but a simple one of the method. It's a simple hash algorithm. Do this like example. There is 16-bit blocks are there. This is all 16-bit blocks, right? So this taking the exclusive OR of 1 bit rotation to the right for every block. Here, first block 1, block 2 exclusive OR together. Then given hash code is just simple rotate the left by 1 time. Then take the second block and do the exclusive OR. Then what are the hash code you will get to again rotate the left by 1 bit, like that. This is a traditional method. I can use that one. Okay. Now coming to these are the basic uses of hash function. Now see that like a previous Mac code, apply the hash function on the given message. Okay, concatenate both, then do the encryption using secret key. Receiver side decryption first, then apply the hash function on the given message. You will get the hash code or message digest, received digest, and computed digest at the receiver side. Compare together. If the both are same, then authentication using success. Authentication is success. Second case, second case, apply the hash function, encrypting the message digest using secret key, then append to the plain text. So here, previously combined, both are encrypted, but here only the hash code is encrypted. So receiver side, for decrypt the hash code, okay, then compute the hash code from the given plain text after applying the hash function. So new hash code plus received hash code compare together. Okay. Next, this third case is different using a private key. Private key of simple instead of secret key here, private key of user A user to encryption, then concatenated. Receiver side what you can do, reverse public key of user A for decryption of the message digest. Okay, then compare. Similarly, like that, combination methods. There is a message, apply the hash function, you will get message digest encrypted by using the private key of user A, then concatenated together, then again encrypted using the secret key. That means symmetric. Here combined method. See public and secret key. Public key and symmetric keys both we can use in this one. Do the reverse. Here encryption is last one. Do the reverse decryption. Then receive the concatenated text on the received message. Apply the hash function. Then decrypt the hash code using the public key of user A because it is encrypted by the private key of user A. Then compare. Okay. Similarly, then here method is different. The first given plain text, for this plain text append the secret key. Some secret key is appended, then apply the hash code. You will get the hash code and append, concatenate together. Here has the secret key itself is a part of the message. Okay, this case. Similarly, this e case, but use the second encryption. Actually, here no encryption. But here go into encryption. These last two cases are similar cases for Secret key is playing the important role in the hash designing. S is some secret value. Generally, actually, it is not a secret key. It is a seed value. S means a seed value or secret values. Actually, this is secret key. Some seed value. This is assumed like a key, but it is a seed value. It is also kept under the secret, because this is playing a important role while computation of hash code. Okay, do the reverse decryption, then receive the message. Similarly, what is appended is the secret code that is appended, and do the hash function. You will get a hash code and received hash code, and compute whatever the computer hash code at the receiver side, both compared together, right? If the both are same, then achieve the authentication. Otherwise, there is a problem. So these are all the uses of hash functions, how to apply the hash function, how to do the authentication using the hash functions. So there are the six figures there in this one. So you can remember these six figures. This is about the authentication functions. Okay. So what we discussed today, authentication functions. In the last class, authentication functions, just confidentiality we discussed in that. Now in this class, we discussed MAC and hash functions. Okay, thank you.